I feel like teams that win titles cannot lose their control in any moment. Man City, and you asked questions at the beginning. I wished, I hoped that Arsenal could win the game. I said 2-1 for Arsenal. But when you look at it, City tonight showed you why they are champion so far, because nobody took that title yet. And I will add something also that I will say. Since those, financial fine or not fine or whatever's going to happen to
accusation,
whatever's going to happen to City,
allegation.
I think that little thing did add something extra into City's mind in that dressing room.
I don't think it's little. I'd call it big.
No, yeah, it is, but it changed. It's
a siege mentality, isn't it?
It changed it because now Pep can say to everybody, they don't want us to win. Let's show them that we're still the champion. And the way they played tonight, they played as champions.
What was the big thing sort of second half here in terms of for Arsenal? Because what we talk about Manchester City, we've seen this for 4 or 5 years for Manchester City. Arsenal put themselves in a great position. What would your message to be? You've won titles at Arsenal. What would your message be if you're in that dressing room, you're in that training ground tomorrow, talking to that young squad of players?
It is. Look, I thought that we're going to go to the cup game. I thought the cup game was very, very significant because it does matter when you play against a team that you're fighting for the title. Now they came to your place and they beat you. Can you now show that you can respond? Because since the beginning of the season, City had to respond to what Arsenal was doing. Can you keep your composure, go at Villa and rectify that straight away at the weekend and show that you can be with them all the way and try to do something at their ground? Because now it's going to be very difficult. Man United are behind. I don't know if they can actually stay with City and Arsenal. Who knows? But just stay calm. You lost against a great team today that, as we mentioned, Foden comes on, Akanji comes on. Do you have the same bench at Arsenal? I'm not too sure also. But keep your composure. You lost that one. It doesn't mean that everything has to go now in the bin. Keep your composure, go, and try to rectify that straight away against Villa and see what you can do. You still have a game in hand.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be tough, though.
I think the big thing for Arsenal is not to, as Thierry said, is panic. The only way I've ever felt Arsenal could win the league, I don't know if you agree, Thierry, is on the fact that Manchester City are going to probably go to at least the semi-finals of the Champions League. You'd expect them to get to the FA Cup final or the semi-final. And just when it gets to sort of late March, the whole of April, there'll be so many games for City, and will Arsenal, even if they were level 2 points behind, could they then still come late?
You know what I was hoping for secretly? Because, I don't see straight when it comes to Arsenal. What I was hoping is that can we get a bigger gap before European competition comes? Even for us, we do have it also. So I wanted a bigger gap because of the depth of our squad before we go into Europe. Because City are used to play this type of games, this type of...
Do you think Arteta would go really strong, especially in these sort of early rounds of knockout stage in Europa League, considering where they are in the Premier League?
You're gonna have to at one point. You're gonna have to play who you have to play. You need also momentum, carry momentum. National teams are coming back, and I've been in that situation also. When you play all those games and you have to go in a national team also when everybody does rest, it takes something out of you. Do we have the depth of Arsenal? We don't have the depth of Man City. That is for sure. That's why.
So do you think they made a mistake not spending more money in January?
But who? It seems like they know that. Well, it doesn't seem like they go about their business a certain way. So I don't think they just buy player for the sake of buying player. Maybe they were targeting one that they couldn't get. I think they go with what they can target. If they can't get what they target, then obviously they went and get Jorginho. I don't think they wanted Jorginho right from the start. It happens. But I still think that we're short, but they don't go and just buy players for the sake of buying players.
Yeah, but Mudryk was the player that they wanted. It was just that they didn't offer him enough money.
Yeah, that was a money thing, I guess.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, do you think that the board should have backed him? I don't see Arsenal being in this position next season, even if they go and buy 3 or 4 players. I mean, in terms of being 5 or 6 points clear at halfway stage.
That was a lot of money to go and buy Mudryk for that. Was he going to have an impact straight away on that team? They went for Trossard, that knows the league, that have been there for a long time, that can maybe adapt quicker and better. But I'm going back to, I wish we had more points. The Brentford game for me was massive also, But it was always going to happen. It's going to happen during a season where you're not going to win, maybe 2 to 3 games. How are we going to react to that? It's not how you fall, it's how you go back on your feet and you stand after that along the way. So hopefully we can do that, but City are used to play that type of role and that type of battle.